Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 16th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect before diving deep to give you in forensic detail all the key influences for each of the 12 zodiac signs. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. New to my channel, it's great to have you with me, and I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Now this week is very powerful. The Sun is side by side with Pluto for the whole of this week, but across two different zodiac signs. And this is very symbolic because for the last 15 years, Pluto has been making its way through the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is very much about the established order, big business, big government, big organisations, but big money. Now, the sign of Aquarius is much more about the collective, but also individuality. There's a duality in the sign of Aquarius. Pluto is about transformation. And because it's getting to the end of its journey in Capricorn, which is going to happen basically in 3 stages, it will finally move fully into the sign of Aquarius on the 19th of November 2024. But of course it goes there for 11 weeks this year, 38 weeks in the following year. And what we're seeing is a big shift. And that really starts to show itself this week. This is why this week is so potent. And of course there is then on Saturday, a new moon in the sign of Aquarius, forging a disassociate conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. But that Plutonian energy can reveal secrets. It's also about deep power that's not necessarily very obvious. It can be about more sinister activities, of course. This week also sees Mercury go direct on Wednesday, Uranus direct on Sunday, but Mercury doesn't emerge from its post-retrograde shadow until the 7th of February. But it does forge a beautiful alliance with the North Node this week, which can be helpful, but a much less helpful one with Mars. Mars now going forwards in the sign of Gemini is quite an impatient, direct energy when it comes to communication, which Mercury governs. So Mercury in the more business-like sign of Capricorn is just saying in this quincunx with Mars that we need to be very sure that we're not jumping to conclusions, making hasty assumptions, or even expressing ourselves in rather an impatient way. Also, from the middle of the week to the end of the week when they become exact, Venus edges into a conjunction with Saturn. Because they're both in the sign of Aquarius, this can be a real test for certain relationships. But for those people who are very committed and very hardworking, Saturn can help to bake in that commitment even more. So it could be a time when some people actually firm up their commitment much more. But the key to this week, of course, Mercury going direct and Uranus going direct, is that energy will start to move. And because the Sun moves on Friday into the airy sign of Aquarius, I feel that also is going to see lots more information flowing around. So I think that's very welcome. But also we are seeing some very big changes about how we live, how we interact, how we earn money, how we relate to power in general. So that's the key background to this week. If you would like to learn more about natal astrology rather than just this zodiac forecast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can produce a 12-month forecast for you that's totally unique to you. But in my special package of 30% off, you'll also get your crucial life roadmap report. This really helps you to understand some of the patterns that you've experienced over and over in your situation. Perhaps some of these have been quite challenging, others have given you real opportunities. If you get a more intimate understanding of those, you can steer your moves more successfully going forwards. Now, in this special package, you can also get your free 12-month general forecast in terms of your zodiac sign, but also your Chinese forecast and your Indian forecast for year 2023. Please see the link below. So Gemini, your week commencing the 16th of January forecast sees your ruler Mercury go direct midweek. Big sigh of relief. Along with Mars going direct in your sign on the 12th, this can really unblock some frustration. But we need to be aware that actually the two of them are not on the best of terms. So when you're trying to balance what you want as an individual, Mars in the first house, against where you need to collaborate with others, Mercury, but also Pluto and initially the Sun this week in your 8th house, despite stationing direct, there may still be a need to just be really quite flexible in finding the sweet spot to make that work. Now, of course, on Saturday, the Sun makes its way into your sister air sign of Aquarius, but Venus is linking with Saturn from around about Thursday through to the end of the week on Sunday when they become exact. This is an interesting one. I feel that around relationship situations, what really is going to be important to you is that there is a sense of authenticity. I'm talking about close personal relationships. You are probably not expecting the other person to see things exactly the same as you, but you want to feel that they are genuine and perhaps also have a big picture view of whatever you're discussing. So this can be in a professional situation or in a more personal one. But the new moon obviously does give you an opportunity to expand because the 9th house is about adventure, independence, travel. So that's exciting. But I feel that if you're hoping to expand around a relationship situation, it has to meet that criteria for you to really feel comfortable. Now, if there's somebody that you have been, caught up with all that 8th house energy going on, it's been very intense, at times, probably quite challenging. I feel that in some situations, there may almost be a need to escape what isn't working well. So if something's not serving your purpose, you may decide to exit it. And part of the reason I feel is that Uranus also, from the 24th of January, has been in retrograde in a deeply sensitive part of your scope. And of course, we're still going through right to the end of the first week of December, that abrasive right angle with Saturn in this 9th house sector. So things that have been difficult have felt much more vivid. They've had a kind of higher sort of level of frequency. But I feel that this can be a week when the sort of dam bursts, you can move forwards, but it may, in some situations, feel that you want to move away or on from something that you've tried your hardest to invest in and it's just not working. It could be a business situation, could be a speculative situation, or it may be a more personal one. But not the best of weeks to be too hasty, despite all these energies, with Mars and Mercury being in such a discordant angle to one another.